subscribers, it's Alison Solven with Stamp Crazy with Alison, and today I wanted to show you how to make this card. It looks fairly elegant and it looks really hard, but it's actually really simple to make. I started with a stamp set called Dragonfly Dreams. It's a photopolymer stamp set and it's in the Occasions catalog. I love this set. It has a matching set of framelits, and that's how I cut out the dragonfly in this sample. I'm also going to use a stamp set called Work of Art because I want to use this kind of blotchy. I'm going to start with a piece of watercolor paper, and I'm going to bring the card in just to show you. There's 3 colors here, so I've used the same stamp, I've just used it in different colors. But a little tip, if you start in the middle, it's a lot easier to gauge where the other 2 colors are going to go to keep it proportional. I'm going to start with crushed curry. And I'm going to ink it up. And before I stamp it on my watercolor paper, I'm going to use one of our Stampin' Up! Misters. They come in a package of 2. So you could use one for a different effect. You can put alcohol and re-inker in here and get a really cool effect, but I've just got water in mine. So I'm just going to spritz it. And what I like about it, it's a really fine spray, so you don't get too much water on there. And so the water's sort of pooling on top of my stamp, and I'm just going to stamp it right down onto my paper. And you can see that it's pooling with water, and that's just fine. Every time you do this, you're going to get a different look. Next color I'm going to use is Bermuda Bay. Same thing, I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to spritz some water on the top, and I'm going to stamp. And again, you've got that pooling of ink, and that's just fine. No 2 of these will be the same because you're not adding the same amount of water, and it's maybe not inked up exactly the same way, so that makes them really unique. The last color I'm going to use is Watermelon Wonder. And again, ink it up. Spray it and stamp. Okay, so before you go on to the next step, you're going to want this to dry before you stamp any of the other ink on here. So the words, for instance, you want this to be completely dry. So you can set this aside, or you can speed it up with a heat gun. But one of the things I wanted to show you to save some paper is underneath my basic black layer here, I've got this beautiful piece of gold foil paper. And normally you would mat this on top, and then your stamped piece is going to go on top of that. It just seems like a shame to waste this part of the gold foil. So what I actually do is cut out my die cut, just like this, from my piece. So now I've got my die cut that's going to go on top. And I can still use this as a matted piece by just putting my black over top. So kind of a double duty, and I don't waste any paper. Oh, like I said, I'm going to take this to my big shot and I'm going to cut that out. And then I'm left with the piece that looks like this. So then I can go ahead and finish up this card. Let me bring back my stamped piece. I want to add some words. There's a few words here. To a wonderful friend, enjoy your special day. You sure know how to make someone happy. Thanks for the smile and everything else. I want to use enjoy your special day, because that's a birthday greeting, I think. Love my photopolymer because you can see right through it. So then I'm just going to stamp that on top. And then it's just a matter of putting this together. So bring in my snail. My layer of black. I'll have all the instructions on my blog, which is stampcrazywithalison.ca. I'm going to put my tape at the top and the sides of this because I'm going to be covering the hole in the middle. Isn't that great? So you don't waste any of that beautiful paper. This whole thing is going to get mounted on Bermuda Bay. And you know the trick with snail, I have a lot of people, someone on the weekend said to me, oh, I haven't had much luck with getting my snail to stick. It is a heat activated formula, which means that when you stick it on, if you turn it over, that's what I do, and just rub from the back, it creates a friction that actually activates the glue, and so it won't fall off, it'll stick. Now I've got this done. I want to add something just as a little extra. I'm going to bring in my Wink of Stella. This is the gold Wink of Stella, and it's not difficult to do this, but you just kind of have to persevere. So I'm going to just press a little bit so I get a little bit more ink. And then I'm just going to tap my pen, and I will hold this up to the camera in a second. And you will see that I've got some gold on there. The last step is to prepare my little dragonflies for my card. So I'm going to bring in some of this black metallic thread, and I've got some glue dots. I'm going to take some glue dots, and I am going to just, sometimes it's easier just to peel them off, at least I find it is. I'm going to peel some of these off and stick them to the back side of my gold dragonflies. And, except when it sticks to your nail. Okay, there we go. Then it's just a matter of taking my thread and just going to start it anywhere here, and I'm just going to wrap it around, and every time I kind of wrap it, I'm going to glue it down to one of those dots. So hopefully you can see that. I just find this really a much easier way of applying this thread because it's thin and sometimes it gets away from you, makes you crazy. I just find this is a really simple way to add it. And I could, of course, just keep going. And when I'm happy with it, I'll just cut off the thread from the end, and we should be good to go. To stick these on, I like to pop it up. So I love these new, well, they're not as new, they were new in this year's catalog, these foam strips. I just love working with these. So I'm just gonna cut off some. They're double-sided, you just peel off the back. And I'm just going to put it along the body of my little dandelion. Oh, dandelion. I keep wanting to call them dandelions. They're dragonflies. Put them on the back of my little dragonfly, and I don't need very many, just a couple. I'm just going to bring back my dragonfly image, and just going to stick that down. So he's popped up, and that's with the little row of dragonflies. And then just as a reminder, that was my original card with the single dragonfly. So I hope you've enjoyed my project today. So thanks so much, and happy stamping.